One of my dad's light up lighthouse things. Good afternoon, everyone. Versus Retro here with you at 1:34 in the afternoon. Wasn't planning on doing a vlog today, but decided to just maybe talk about a few things. I'm gonna reminisce about my dad. Get my mind off of some things that are gonna be happening in the next couple days. And the first thing we're gonna talk about, of course, is what's in my hand. This is an iPod. I think this is a third generation iPod. One of the ones that actually have video capabilities. When this first came out, they had only audio capabilities. And fully charged, so I do have it fully charged. I'm able to get it to work. It does have, I don't know if you can tell on the screen there, it does have a line across there. Probably because this is such an old piece of tech. But there's something to be said about the simplicity of it. I mean, there's no complicated buttons, no apps. It's just simple. It has music, photos, videos, extras, which is probably just games and stuff. Settings, shuffle, now playing. I'd say let's listen to some of the music he has on here. He put it here over the years, but I don't need to get my video copyright, my vlog copyrighted because of it. So we'll just kind of, some of the oddball stuff. So let's go back. Let's look at the extras. Extras is kind of like what it says. You got clock, games, contacts, calendar, notes, stopwatch, and screen lock. Contacts in here. Calendar. Wow, it has the actual date. Maybe you guys actually did set this to the right date. Okay. Nope. Instructions. Okay. Here we go. To view file text files here, enable iPod for disk use. Okay, you're gonna go any further than that. Yeah. Check out games. That's the clock. When I first powered this up, it had the time way off. Probably the last time the thing was powered on and used. Okay, we got brick. Of course, looks like your simple breakout game. Music quiz. Oh, okay, you're supposed to guess the song. We hear it. So, parachute. Solitaire is self-explanatory, but parachute looks like this. And, so you gotta try to shoot that, and you use this to maneuver it, thing, and shoot. Like that. So, anyway, it's called parachute. Okay. Solitaire, of course, is your simple solitaire game. That's about that. Next piece of old tech I don't think you've actually kids today. I'd say given kids about 10 years from, born 10 years ago, won't even know this because about that time when we had the phones we have now, one of the capabilities to have already installed on them were GPS apps that you can download. But before they had smartphones and before they had that, GPSs were a thing, but they looked somewhat like this. This is an old Magellan. Some of you may have seen the square ones, but this is a different one. I don't even know if it works. A car cigarette lighter. Now they're just called power adapters. Not really anybody smokes in cars hardly ever anymore, I guess. What else I got? An old weather radio. I had one of these at one time too myself. Nowadays you can just get an app that from the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, whatever it's called, that does the same thing this does. I actually have the app. Now, pan over to a bigger piece of tech. Like my dad has in his office, which is that. That is an old ham radio receiver. And you can tell by the diodes, well, actually, you can tell by the dials, the Hamlund, or Hammerlund. You're going to switch the antenna, pitch, you tune it, sensitivity, all the buttons, and if you actually open up and look inside that thing, you'll actually see actual tubes. So, yeah. I did collect a lot of old tech, mainly because at the time he got it, it was new tech, such as, like, this. This is an old iPad. Dirty old iPad, looks like it got kind of dirty over the years, being up to the case, but this is an old iPad. And you can tell it's old because by the power plug, it's the same one that this has, the old 30 pins. Nowadays, they don't make the 30-pin iPad plugs anymore, they have the lightning jack or the USB-C plugs. And my laptop actually uses a USB-C plug. My iPad, which I have, actually uses a lightning jack. It has a whole bunch of old Dell laptops. Only one that actually works is the one sitting here in my hand. The problem is I can't get into it because it was mine at one point and I forget what the password was. I know there's a way to do it. I've been trying for days to figure out how to do it because I like to see what I left on here. There's also, I might have put this in another blog, but there's also one of these. There's the second one. These are nifty, like you live in countries where electricity, or areas where electricity goes out a lot due to hurricanes or storms, because really in order to pile this on, it does take batteries, but you really don't need it. Because in order to really turn this on, There's a little cranky thing here. And as you turn the crank, powers it on. My mom got the other one, took the other one he had, which has actually, is taking it back to Florida with her during like in a storm season, because that one actually has a flashlight on it. There's a light on it, so when you turn it, it lights up the light. I mean, how many remember how many old, as a Gen Xers and old people remember Walkmans? Here's a rechargeable Walkman. You don't need batteries, it's rechargeable. Just requires a plug that looks like this. Plug it in. I haven't charged it to see if it actually works, but yeah. This is a kind of example of old tech made new. You know, you buy these things back in like the 80s and 90s and you had to put like 5 batteries in it to get it to work. Yeah. Some of the old tech my dad had. I talked about my camera case in the last vlog, but let's talk about some of the stuff my dad had as cameras. He has 2 that I recently found. One of them that he actually liked, which is the one I'm about to show you. This is what is called, I think it's called a 3/4 mirrorless camera, right here. That, of course, it's got the nice little viewfinder, so you don't need to actually look through the viewfinder itself if you don't want to. It's actually kind of the same viewfinder that my dad's DSLR has. You know, if it works. Probably not. He hasn't probably used it in a while before he died. It looks like this is one he used like you put on tripods. The other one is just your simple other DSLR camera. That's the Kennedy. It's a mirrorless camera. Not sure what exactly that means yet. I haven't really learned everything about photography because he passed away before he could teach me everything he knew. I mean, to show you what I mean by countless laptops. Down there, I don't know if you can tell, is a bunch of laptops on top of that box right there. Those are laptops, and of course right there is another laptop. I spend most of the morning with those because my Dell I can't get it. My old Dell I can't get into because the password. Remember, the password has the same type of plug that most of those have. So I tried to see what was on those. All they do is turn on and throw up an error message. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with them, and you know that first in computers as well. Today is cat visit. My office kitty Looney. See, that's Loon. Isn't he cute? He's a big fat black and white tuxedo. Yeah. Move has, like I said, been flipped around. We're not sure if the move's going to happen soon or if it's going to happen. Then there's a lot of ifs on that. The Florida trip has been moved from July now to August. Got a lot of projects we got to finish up here before my mom decides she wants to head back to Florida. So I will be vlogging that trip when it does happen. Let's see what else my dad has that's kind of neat, tech-wise. Card readers you can plug into your laptop somehow to read different cards. Basic tech junk. You know, if I would go to Goodwill and go, oh look at that, it's tech junk. You know, this stuff you'd find that Goodwill would throw into like a bin and put in the electronics section and charge you like cents to $1 or more, $1 to $5 on, depending on what it is. There's nothing that something like this, they might put in a glass case and put a higher price on it. Or something like this old iPod Nano that actually also works. I had it working, but I guess it stopped working. I gotta charge it again as a glass case. Even the Magellan itself, they might put in a glass case. Doubt it though, because as old as no one really uses those things anymore because we all use our phones for it now. Because our phones stay up to date on all the roads and changes in construction. Where those old GPSs rely on you hooking it up to your computer and downloading updates to it periodically. Yeah, I'll show you more, but most of the stuff was either got damaged in a basement flood recently, last August, or it's nothing more than just computer parts that I had planned to do something with, but never get around to it, so it's all going to get dumpsterized. So, with that, it is currently almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon here on this beautiful Sunday morning in Brookfield, Wisconsin. I think it's going to rain, so I was planning on doing the lawn, but I wanted the temperature to get down because when I do the lawn, stepson helps. I mow the lawn on the lawnmower. He takes the grass weed whacker and gets all the stuff the lawnmower can't get. But looks like rain if it isn't raining already, and we probably should have done that like ago, but never got around to it. So I'm showing you this nifty little snowman thing. Lights up, and the snow globe part just kind of. I did like these types of niche things. I got them everywhere. Probably seen them in places. So hope you enjoyed this little look into what my dad's life was like. and some of the stuff he's kind of accumulated over the years, camera-wise and tech-wise and that sort of deal. So, with that being said, peace out, stay frosty, do good in the world. The road is where the stories are, and of course, I'll see you in the next one.